In 2022, mass sales of computers based on Russian Baikal M processors will start in Russia. In the 1990s, Russia lost a promising market for semiconductors, stopping or freezing the development of processors and other high-tech products. It should be understood that Russian engineers have never aimed at the mass market, which means that it was simply unrealistic to achieve any significant financial success. Well, in the 90s, there was no time to raise the semiconductor industry, so the existence of domestic processors was remembered relatively recently. It turned out that several companies not only did not die, but also sometimes release something. Alas, technology has gone so far that today domestic processors are able to compete with the most budget-friendly models of Western companies, but progress in this direction is already underway. Since the backlog is huge and the budget is not unlimited, the development of new technologies is slow. Most orders for the production are given to Western contractors, TSMC, but by 2030 the transition to domestic 16nm standards is expected. By this point, industry leaders promise to master 2nm, but all this is not so important. The problem is that today there are only a few companies that can produce chips at all. It is still difficult to say what the semiconductor industry in the Russian Federation will be like by 2030, but public investment there is considerable. Experts note that already in 2022, domestic computers based on Baikal M processors will go on sale. They will be produced by RU engineers, and sales will start in Sitlink, part of the Merlion group of companies. It is assumed that fully finished systems on Russian hardware will be approximately identical to Western budget models, but prices at first will be 15 to 20% more expensive. Because of this, the demand may be small, because the consumer will prefer savings, although patriotism should not be discounted. It is quite possible that state subsidies will be offered to companies that want to buy such iron. Russian retailers are confident that domestic computers will be successful. Customers have been asking about this technique for a long time and are ready for its appearance. Presumably, in 2022 alone, 60,000 computers based on Russian processors can be sold, and this number will only increase in the coming years. TSMC is switching to high-tech nanometer standards, which will free up the capacity needed for the production of Russian chips. The potential of the domestic semiconductor industry is huge, and the state is ready to provide financial support. The question is whether manufacturers will be able to manage the money coming to them, and whether ordinary residents of the Russian Federation will want to put Baikal M instead of the old Core i3.